Hello everyone, hello. I am Isaac Umbras, and today, we are playing Enthusia again. Alright, so, since we last left off, we had a little bit of audio issues, where the game decided, OBS decided to delay the game audio an entire 30 seconds after the gameplay video was shown on screen. I believe I have fixed that. If you can hear it kind of little pinging and stuff like that as it's going up and down the menus, that's probably a good thing. That means I fixed it. I don't know why OBS decided to do that, but it's very, very strange. I think I fixed it. But last stream, just summarize for people that don't want to watch with the jank audio, we started Enthusia, which is a Gran Turismo clone made by Konami back in 2005. And it's very, very similar and very, very different in a way. It's similar in the car selection, a lot of weird kind of quirky cars, a lot of interesting vehicles. Everything from minivans to compact cars to sports cars to classic and modern racing cars. Runs the whole gamut through multiple eras. Very, very good car selection in this game. And our first two cars. Our first car was the Mitsubishi EK wagon. We had that in hot pink. Had 50 horsepower and was not fast. Our second car was the Volkswagen New Beetle in sunflower yellow, and that was a little bit faster. We won some races with that. And now we are racing in a very, very different vehicle, much heavier, much larger, much more. It's still not exactly a vehicle fit for a racing track, but it drives very differently, though, compared to the previous two vehicles. It's got a lot of power, but it's also got quite a bit of weight. And it's a luxury sedan, this Mercedes S600L. And we're gonna adjust some settings on it to make it just a little bit more track ready. We're gonna lower the suspension just a tad, and stiffen up the springs, stiffen up the rears just a little bit more, just to get it to have a little bit more turning. Stiffen up the dampers also, and a little bit of. That's weird. I think this is reversed. Hang on. Let's readjust this. Okay, and finally, let's put a bit of negative camber on the vehicle. And oh, it's already got. Oh no. When it's lock up the rear differential as well, and put it towards acceleration, because there's not a whole lot of tracks where you're at your top end in this game. And acceleration is how you can kind of outmaneuver and beat some of the slower vehicles in the game, which is a good thing because and some of the faster vehicles as well. So with that, it is now time to begin the race. Let's start our first race in the Mercedes S600L. And as you can see at the bottom, the odds are much more in our favor, as we are in a B-class car, which is near the top of the street cars. The street cars, they run the gamut from anything from an A-class, which is the fastest, to an F class, which is very, very slow cars, and everything in between with that. And we're in a B class car, so it is quite powerful, and it's got a decent amount of grip as well. Not a whole lot. It's not Skyline territory. It's not Corvette territory, but it's got just enough to be sporty. So yeah. Right from the get-go, let's Let's try. See, the downside though is the lower the odds, the easier the race is, but you get considerably less points. As you can see here in the top left, if I win, I might only get like 500 points, which is like would be second place with just something like the Miata, not the Miata, the Mitsubishi. Sorry, I'm confusing my cars here. It's been a long day. Yeah, we'll do this race. So the slower vehicle, the further towards the front you start, and the faster vehicle, the further towards your rear you start, in comparison to all the other cars. So we are in a very, very fast car, in comparison to all these other cars. So it's gonna be interesting. A little bit of weird spin off the line. Oh yeah, it's still a little bit sluggish on the acceleration and cornering. Okay, nice and easy. Get around here without contact. As pack racing is quite difficult, especially when the cars are. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Pack racing is quite difficult, especially when the vehicles are all very different performances and very different strengths and weaknesses. Like this car, my Mercedes that I'm driving, it is very fast in a straight line. It's got some decent acceleration, but as you can see, it's an understeery. It is a very chunky boy that does not like turning, and so it is. It is giving me some issues in the corners. As you can see that the two Silvias are able to outpace me through the twisty bits. Then on this acceleration zone, I should be able to pass that S13. There it is. You can see it in my mirror on the left. As I'm hunting down the Ford Thunderbird, that's the red car up in front, and the S15 generation Silvia. And oh boy. Oh gosh, tight bit through the archway. The joys of city street circuit racing. It is very difficult, city street circuit racing, because the road, unlike regular circuits, regular permanent road courses and stuff, city street circuits, they can go anywhere from very, very wide to very narrow, and they can change the width very quickly. The best real-life example would be the castle section at the Baku City Street Circuit that they race at, Formula One races at for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And that circuit, that corner, the castle section, has claimed quite a large number of vehicles over the years. Because it goes from a fairly wide, fairly high-speed straight to a very tight left, right, left chicane. And it's basically, it's a blind corner, it's uphill, and the road narrows from like 3 to 4 car lengths wide to like 1.5 car length wide. And it is very tricky to get right. Even like, you know, the professionals make numerous mistakes there. Infamously, Charles Leclerc, the infamous I am stupid meme, kind of originated from that corner because he was during the global situation of 2020 when no one could do anything. A lot of the Formula One drivers were, at home streaming, playing the Formula One racing game or other similar racing sims. Oh, that was a contact at the wall. And so, Charles Leclerc, a Formula One driver, he crashed out virtually on that course during a virtual Grand Prix, and said that infamous line because just the previous time he raced it in real life, he also hit that same spot at the castle section. Granted, I'm not knocking on professional drivers at all. He could run rings around me, pretty much the entire grid, the entire F1 grid could. I am never going to claim I am a good driver by any stretch of the imagination. I just love cars and I love racing. But I know I am very much a journeyman or an enthusiast, shall we say, more so than anything resembling a professional. As you can see there. Oh gosh. No, I got a double tap from the wall. I feel like a zombie. Alright, over the bridge. We've managed to pull out a decent lead, which isn't surprising considering the raw pace of the vehicle. Oh gosh, please turn in. With the real front tires, please give grip. Please. Just a little bit. As we go around these corners. I gotta start braking just before the jump because otherwise the car gets very squirrely over that crest. Because you basically want to turn right at the top of the crest. And the car, especially with the car with this soft a suspension, it does not like that. I may need to stiffen up the suspension just a little bit more because as of right now, the vehicle is still a little bit squirmy and definitely very, very soft in its suspension still. So I may need to lower it just a little bit more and give it just a little, just to stiffen things up just a little bit. All right, we're on to our final lap now. Now we are. Okay, this is a very, very late apex corner here. Oh gosh, that is not the proper way to take that. And then you go into an early apex hairpin here, where you want to get to the inside of the corner as early as possible because the corner itself gradually opens up. It gradually gets wider and wider as you're exiting. And with that, you want to be able to get on the gas as early as possible then. So you can have some speed down the bridge, one of the bridge straights, into the roundabout. Come on, turn, please, I'm begging you. All right, managed to get around there without too much issue. Ooh. Running a little bit wide. Ah, gosh. Yeah, the car definitely handles very differently compared to the Volkswagen Beetle and the Mitsubishi EK wagon that I was previously driving. This is a very, very high-powered, supercharged rear-wheel drive sports sedan. Whereas the Beetle and the EK wagon are both very, very small, very lightweight, nimble, but not a lot of power. Compact economy cars. I managed to hit that corner complex surprisingly well. That's good. I'm learning. This track is definitely not one of my good tracks. The two Victoria circuits in this game, Victoria Garden and I think this is called Victoria Palace. Yeah, I didn't even get fastest lap. Oh. Sorry, Victoria Road. Yeah, Victoria Garden, Victoria Road are two tracks I am not very good at. Okay, so we have got 5 different cars we can potentially win. We could win nothing from the raffle at the end of the race if you score a points-paying position, so 1st through 4th. If there's a vehicle that you do not have, you have a chance to potentially win one of them. And any one of these is a really, really great car to get. Oh. Well, I didn't get any car. So that's fine. Alright, we got some points here, minus some penalties from collisions to the fence and car and stuff like that, and off-course excursions. So we didn't get to level up our vehicle this first race. But we did get some decent amount of points. We got 400 points. And that did actually improve our ranking. And the closer to 1 our ranking is, the more events we can enter, and the more difficult events we can enter as well. And that allows us to potentially win certain cars. And so there are certain events that you need to be within rank 50 to enter. And some of them are the only way in this game you can really get a racing class car. You know, cars designed specifically for racing. Like, you know, your JGTC, your Japanese Grand Touring Car cars, or your Deutsche Tourenwagen DTM cars, basically German touring cars. I don't sprechen the Deutsch. I do not speak German. And my German pronunciation is dreadful. I do apologize to any Germans watching. I'm gonna actually give it toe out here. I wanna lower this just a little bit more, because right now this is, car is it feels very sloshy. Very wibbly wobbly. Feels a little unstable and a little understeery as well at the same time. I don't quite like how it feels. Alright. Ooh, we get the race in low end steering. Which is ooh, okay. Nice. Oh, yes. Okay. So we're gonna be racing against a Viper and a Corvette in our vehicle. In our Mercedes sedan. So this is gonna be a bit difficult. We're gonna have to kind of drive better than the AI. And thankfully, on the low-end steering course, or practically on any course in this game, the AI kind of underestimates just how much speed it can carry through corners with banking. And thankfully for us, the first corner on this course is a very steeply banked, high-speed corner. So we will have a little bit of advantage there. We're gonna have to make the best use of that advantage this corner gives us and try to hold on to the best of our abilities the rest of the way around the lap until we get back around to the bank section for the second lap. So we're gonna be trying. That Viper is already in second place. It has already gotten past all of the other cars, so they can't even run interference on it. This is gonna be tricky. This is gonna be very tricky. I do have a little bit of advantage from that banked corner, but not a whole lot. They're gonna be steadily gaining on me. And I'm gonna try to race them clean and fair though, because otherwise the game is gonna penalize me quite a bit if I race dirty. It's one of the things that this game actually does better than Gran Turismo. It does encourage, it does have game mechanics that do encourage clean racing, even against other AI opponents. That you know, it is good. It is good game design. It's a bit of both positive and negative reinforcement, because if you race cleanly, you and your car level up, which means your car gets faster. You know, it gets weight reduction upgrades, tire upgrades, and power upgrades. Oh gosh, there's the Viper, and it is already in front of me. That is a very fast car. It's one of the faster cars in the game. It is genuinely terrifying to drive though. But back to what I was saying. Sorry. The game itself, it does encourage clean driving, because it does allow you not only to upgrade your car faster if you race cleanly, but it also penalizes you if you don't, because if you race too dirty, you have to take a week off to rest and recover basically your hit points. They call them Enthusia points, but it's basically your driver health. Driver and machine health, for lack of better words. And what that does is, if you have to skip a week, your ranking goes down, and then you can only, well, your ranking has a chance to go down, depending on what week it's replacing. If it's replacing a previous week that you either rested or changed your vehicle or didn't score as many points, you know, one of the 3 weeks of 12 total weeks that the 12-week window that it counts, then it won't lower your ranking. But even then, it's still something you got to keep in mind, because if your ranking lowers too much, then you're going to be getting even less points and it can be a bit of a downward spiral, so you gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. Alright, we are gaining on the Viper, but not quite enough. Ooh, we gaining a little bit on the hairpin as well, which is surprising considering just how heavy the Mercedes I'm driving is. Usually it doesn't like the very tight, twisty corners. Oh, it's still got a little bit of understeer, but it's doing a lot better since I adjusted the suspension system on it, lowered it and stiffened it just a bit. Try to trail brake into these corners, carry as much speed as I can. Oh gosh, bad line. Carrying a little too much speed there. That's gonna slow me down. All right, into the hairpin. Oh gosh. That was very, very bad. That's gonna cost me the battle with the Viper. That's alright. It was still decent ways ahead of third place though, so we can still get a solid amount of points from this event, and we have the chance to win the Viper as well, which such a cool car. And I think the Corvette is in third, and we're managing to keep our distance from that. But the Viper now is pulling away. The Viper is pulling away quite a bit. Ooh, I can still see them, but they are not within striking distance. Come on, especially since the Mercedes I'm driving is currently at level 1. As I mentioned earlier, if you drive cleanly, you do get upgrades for your car after a certain point. Well, this vehicle is basically, it has not been upgraded at all yet, so it is its base performance in the game. Ooh, running a little wide there, little squirrely. All right, through the backwards Rouge. Running wide there too. Okay, car is definitely not happy. I'm trying to push it just a little too hard. Oh. Okay, across the line. Oh geez. Yeah, that Viper is a very fast car in this game. It's also genuinely, oh my word. The third generation Corvette was in third. Ahead of, wow. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? That was an impressive showing from the C3 Corvette. I was expecting that to be dreadfully slow because that is a very handling and top speed focused track, neither of which the C3 Corvette really has. Ooh. All right, we got the Mustang. As long as there's no crowd is nearby, we should be able to drive decently with that. But I'm gonna stick with the Mercedes until I'm able to upgrade that to level 10. All right, that should upgrade. That should be an upgrade. That is an upgrade. That's good. All right, and all right, good. It is a bit lighter. It's not quite as chunky and sluggish as it was. We got 336 points. That is a decent amount. Our ranking number has increased further. I want to get it within 50 because that allows me to race the really, really special events, the RS events. And those are very, very nice because those are the places you can win, really cool racing cars. And it is, again, some of the fastest machines in the game. So yeah, it's really, really good. Oh, we can race on the Nordschleife, but I'm gonna race on Tsukuba on the night circuit, and we're gonna be up against everything from a Datomaso Pantera, a whole bunch of sports cars, sports sedans, the Shelby Cobra, of course, such a gorgeous car, and the Honda NSX. which is essentially, it's basically a Japanese Ferrari. It is a mid-engine V6, 300 horsepower, very, very quick, very nimble, very agile car. Gorgeous too. Definitely the NSX is a vehicle I would love to put in the dream garage. Alright, we got a solid launch. The big Mercedes supercharged motor giving us a bit of an advantage off the line. The big Mercedes chassis not really giving us a whole lot of advantage through the twisty bits though. Trying not to run the Cobra off the road. They're going, oh gosh, they're going 3 wide into the hairpin. A lot of arging and barging there. Alright, the 180SX on the inside. Let's try to gain some positions back on the high-speed section and into the hairpin here. I think I can probably outbrake the Tommaso, the Pantera. Oh gosh, please turn. It is such a heavy car. I'm able to gain so much time on the straights compared to some of the other cars, but it does not like the twisty bits one bit. So I am struggling a little bit. All right, I can probably out accelerate the Tommaso through this section into its slipstream, brake a bit later, and hit it. That's wasn't my intentions. Oh man. See, I'm a bit faster on the straights. If I can get ahead of it, I can probably catch up to the Cobra. Because the Cobra is probably also running into a lot of the same issues, where it is, you know, it's having some issues on the corners. Oh, come on. You are right in front of me. You are like the carrot at the end of the stick. I'm on the outside now going into the turn. I should have the better line. You are right on my inside. Kind of closed the door on you just a little bit. I am sorry about that. But, you know, rubbing is racing. Alright, let's try it again on the leaders. Try to trail brake to the best of our ability through the sweeper here. Carry as much speed as we can. Slowly get back on the accelerator. No, we still lost a little bit of time through there. Alright, well let's try to keep our third place and try to get as many points as we can. The NSX and the Cumber might be just a little bit too nimble for us compared to the big Mercedes S600. Ooh, running a little wide there. I think I'm gaining on the Cobra actually, so I might be able to pull off. Second place, but it's going to be close. Again into the sweeper. Oh gosh. Nope, that's going to run me wide. That's a mistake. That is a big mistake. Oh, jeez. I think I should probably also open up the differential, the rear differential a bit, because it's at halfway between locked and unlocked. And I'm noticing it's actually, the really tight corners, I'm losing a lot of time. So I'm gonna, after this race, I'm going to unlock the rear differential, probably put it at 25% as opposed to 50%. That should probably help me through some of the tighter corners, because that is where I am struggling hard. I am struggling hard in this car with these tight corners. Like, it is next to no cornering ability through them. And a part of it is just due to the sheer length of the wheelbase. But even then, it is difficult. I don't know, is there any other tuning recommendations? I have stiffened the suspension. I'm gonna try to open up the differential. Probably get some more toe out in the front. That should help with the cornering as well. Now we're pretty solidly in third position here. As we have only 1.5 laps left of this race. And yeah, the NSX and the Cobra are actually fairly evenly matched. The NSX, despite its you know, being much newer and being much lighter, well, not the same weight really, but being more shall we say refined in its handling, compared to a sports car made in the 60s that was built by basically taking a British chassis and stuffing the biggest Ford V8 motor you could put in it. Yeah, the NSX is probably a little bit more refined in its handling. But now that they're keeping pace surprisingly well with each other. I was not expecting that. I was expecting the NSX to absolutely destroy the Cobra, just due to the nature of this being a purely handling, maybe a little bit of acceleration focused track. But now the Cobra is proven to be quite fast through this course. All right, into the hairpin for the last time. Come on, let's get around there. Alright, onto the back straight, and then into the sweeper, the very long sweeper. And that corner punishes you if you get greedy. If you try to brake too late into it, or you try to get onto the gas too early, it will punish you horrifically. You will go wide, and it is not going to be a fun lap. There we go. Oh, alright, that's a decent race. Alright, let's see if we can't obtain one of these 5 gorgeous vehicles. Any one of them is a great vehicle to get. Alright, the game wants me to oh yeah, we had quite a bit of collisions with that the Tomaso Pantera. The game definitely does not want me to get any cars. This is like the third time as of recently that it's decided not to give me a vehicle. We got the Mustang though, which is a nice vehicle. All right, back to the garage. Let's do a little bit of setting adjustment. Let's unlock this just a little bit more. And let's give this just a little bit more toe out. Maybe at the rear as well. That should help with cornering. I'm trying to turn a luxury sedan that was built purely for just driver comfort and being quiet on the road. I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to take one of those vehicles, and I am trying to turn it into a racing machine. And that's quite a difficult task. Granted, it is blazingly fast in a straight line. Oh my word! But it is a very long and it is a very heavy boy. All right, we are racing against that Cobra again, but on this track I do have the advantage. Because it is purely really long straights. It is a power course. Clip the apex. Car is handling. Oh, the car is handling so much better. Yes. Give me that power on the uphill. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. All right, gotta be careful. Going around the sweeper that goes right into the right-left bus stop chicane. Flip the curb on both sides. And back on the throttle. Going downhill now. I gotta be careful with this left-hander. It's deceptive. It's deceptive in that you can both go faster than, oh gosh, faster and slower than you think you can, depending on what kind of car you're driving. If you're driving a more nimble vehicle, you can take that corner very, very fast. You just need to lift off the throttle just a bit, and the car will just grip. And in some other cars, you're like, okay, yeah, it's not too big of a corner. It's not too difficult. And that outside wall catches up to you very, very quickly. I am getting considerably more turn in though, after adjusting those settings, which is very, very nice, because then I can basically, I can get the turn in, and then I can use the traction control to kind of catch the slide a little bit, because this car comes with both electronic stability control and traction control, which does a lot to do better on some of the wet events for a vehicle of its power and weight. But that does allow me to kind of almost throw it into the corners and then have it kind of catch itself artificially. Oh gosh, back the other way, please. Sometimes it doesn't want to catch itself, and you are stuck just sliding. If you're just a little bit too aggressive with the weight transfer, because there is a lot of weight to transfer in this car. Very heavy. Just barely hit the wall there. That's unfortunate. And that is one of the dangers of city street courses, is that those walls do come up very quickly, and there is no, well, very rarely is there ever a runoff where to save you. That's why if you watch a lot of like open wheel racing, like IndyCar, or in like the city street courses like the Long Beach Grand Prix or the Toronto Grand Prix, you get a lot more retirements because, well, they don't really have a whole lot of places to go if they run wide. There's basically wall. And if you hit a wall, especially in an open wheel car, your race is usually done. Very rarely can you get away with it, but for the most part, your race is done. Alright, into the hairpin. The other Mercedes, the Mercedes AMG. I think that's the AMG behind us. That's going to be proved quite difficult, because that is also a quite a powerful car, and that one is much lighter as well. So that'll definitely have an advantage on us through the twisty section, like this section here. But we should be able to pull away on the straights, because we do have a whole heap of power. Yeah, there we go. Over the crest. Preferably not sideways. Alright, let's try... Don't know what it is. The car just wants to keep going left of that corner. I have to take another look at the settings, see what's wrong there. Alright, I need to gain that position back. Alright, I should have an advantage on the uphill because I have considerably more power. I think I have roughly 400 horsepower. The Mercedes in front only has about 320. So I do have a decent power advantage. I should especially have an advantage out of this slow section here. Going downhill in the slipstream of the Mercedes in front. Easy on the brakes here. I think I can outbrake you going into this left-hander. It's going to be tricky because you're going to have the inside going around there, but I should have the inside back again through the left sweeper. Oh, we do touch there. Alright. I'm not gonna try to do that dive bomb move going into the hairpin there. That would be a very dumb move. Come on. It's right in front of me. It's just with the twisty bits, the car still is at a disadvantage at this current stage of tuning. There we go. I see an opening. Going for it. If gap car. And there we go. We inserted our very, very thick boy into the gap. That sounded dirty. Nope. Come on. Switch back. There we go. Trail braking into... trying to trail brake into that bus stop chicane there is like playing Russian roulette. Is the weight gonna finally transfer back to the other side and allow you to turn? Or are you gonna stay turning left? It is a very sketchy experience. And you're a full commit through that corner. If you back out, you're gonna wreck, or you're gonna spin. So, ooh, let's see what we get. All right, we got the Audi A8. That's nice. That is a four-wheel drive, 330 horsepower sedan. Another really kind of heavy car. But that one's got the all-wheel drive as well to help it accelerate out of the corners. Alright, we've leveled up again. And our car is also leveled up. We've got more power. Oh, so much more power. Yes. All of the power. 440 points. Awesome. Okay. Our ranking number is now just barely within the 50. So provided our vehicle meets the requirements of an RS race, we should be able to do an RS race. Oh gosh, the Nürburgring Enduro. Well, we're gonna be racing against a Mercedes SLR McLaren. That's gonna be difficult. But we're also racing against the Jaguar S-Type R, the Silvia K, Golf GTI, and the Subaru Forester. So we do. First place is out of the question. That SLR is going to blow everyone out of the water. But we should have a decent advantage against all the other drivers, especially since we are on the Nordschleife for 3 laps. So this is going to be quite a long race. But on the bright side, we should... Oh gosh, we got a good start there. Up into third. Probably second by the end of the corner. And then back down to third as the SLR uses its insane 600-some horsepower supercharged engine to just blow past us. It is a proper front-engine supercar. The Forester is defending admirably, though. Wow. The Forester, the Forester in this game, most four-wheel drive vehicles in this game actually do punch well above their weight, just due to the sheer amount of traction they have from the four-wheel drive systems. So you can tune it much more towards acceleration without having to worry about wheel spin off the line. And that allows you to get out of corners very, very quickly, even if you yourself are going to be going rather slow through the corners. Yeah, four-wheel drive vehicles in this game, well, four-wheel drive in general in motorsport is quite a bit of an advantage. That's why back during the 80s, when Audi was very, very popular in Group B using their Quattro four-wheel drive system with the original Audi Quattro, they also entered IMSA races with the Audi Quattro GTO. And originally, that car also had four-wheel drive. And it was very quickly banned because that gave them an insane advantage, especially if it ever rained during the events. Just because it had so much grip, so much traction out of the corners. So yeah, that is four-wheel drive is a major advantage in racing. That's why you don't really see a whole lot of, oh gosh, turn back the other way. That's why you don't see a whole lot of other racing vehicles using four-wheel drive, mostly because in most forms of motorsport, it is banned. Oh man, we are falling back down the order. Okay, let's use our acceleration to pass the Forester. Let's try to be stable through here. All right, let's catch that Jaguar. The Jaguar is also a very heavy car, but quite a lot of power in it. So in that regards, we are pretty closely matched. So I'll just need to drive faster than the AI does in order to win. Because I can't really rely on the advantages the vehicle gives me, because the two vehicles are fairly even in terms of performance. Both, you know, very high power engines, heavyweight, rear-wheel drive, but they also have all the electronic assists as well, which does help on acceleration out of the corners and getting that power down off the line. And that SLR is gone, like completely. So that, we're gonna try to push for a second place position here. Hopefully that Jaguar hasn't gained too much time from that off-course excursion that we had. Go down to second gear. Come on, get me around the corner, please. Alright, we have a fairly long high-speed section here. So we can use that to pull away from the pack and at least secure a third. You gotta be careful though, because it does get a little bit tricky through this long corner here, and if you're not paying attention, that corner can catch you out. It's very easy to get high-speed hypnosis through the Nordschleife, especially through the later stages, just because of how long the track is. It kind of just begins to blur together. And it's crazy that Formula One, back during the 60s and up to the mid-70s, Formula One raced on this circuit, the full course, not just the GP circuit, the full Nürburgring course, which included the Nordschleife section. Oh, that's a mouthful. And it wasn't until Niki Lauda's accident during 76, I think it was, that they stopped using the full course, because it was getting too dangerous. I mean, with the course, you know, you have to have, you know, safety crews. Yeah, you'd have to have so many different safety crews stationed around the track, or they'd be understaffed, and it would take them a long time to get to a vehicle if it crashed. And this was during a time when the vehicles themselves were beginning to get, you know, all the fancy aerodynamics and everything that allowed them to take the corners so much faster. But the tracks themselves were not being updated to handle the higher cornering speeds if something broke or a driver made an error and crashed out. So unfortunately, you did have a lot of driver fatalities during that time period. And we are lucky now that motorsport circuits are considerably safer nowadays than back then. Even if the cars themselves, you know, they look gorgeous and everything, and it's easy to romanticize history. But it was very, very dangerous during that time period. And even today, the Nordschleife course is still very, very dangerous if you are not careful. I mean, I'm sure if you go into YouTube and you look up, you know, all like, you know, the Nordschleife accident compilations, you will see people, you know, left, right, and center, you know, all the different wrecks. So it is very easy to get caught out by this course, especially because this area of Germany is also known to be very, very wet. And with a course this large, you can have localized weather patterns. So it could be dry through most of the course, and then like one section, it could be pouring down rain. And if you are not prepared for that, that'll be very, very dangerous. It'll, you know, it could very likely lead to an accident. So, and it's the same with the Le Sard circuit in France that they race at for the 24 Hours of Le Mans. That track, and even the Daytona Speedway in Florida, because of how large those tracks are, they get localized weather patterns. So it is you do need to be careful in larger tracks. Spa is the same way as well, where you can get, you know, rain in like just a small section of corners, and the rest of the track could be dry. Ooh, running a little wide there. Alright, nope. Alright, car definitely keeps getting crossed up under high speed braking. Oh my gosh. One lap in and we are already a minute behind the SLR McLaren, which is arguably one of the fastest street cars in the game. But, you know, we still have a solid third position, which will still get us quite a large amount of points. Should help with the ranking. And the sheer length of this race will help us rank up our vehicle too, which is good because I need better gripping tires. And also the vehicle to be just a little bit lighter. Alright, I gotta be careful going over the crest. That can very quickly upset the car, and especially as a car as subject to weight transfer as this one, that's not something you want to do. Alright, I think we're beginning to gain back up on the Jaguar. Oh, that SLR is so far gone. Oh my word. Okay, onto the brakes. Easy, easy. Nope. Yep, see, the course, if you're not careful, it is very easy to get caught out by the course. Oh, jeez. Especially in the high-speed braking, since I need to find a way to adjust that. The car does not like braking from high speed. Not one bit. All right. Come on, let's try to catch that Jaguar. This corner invokes quite a bit of understeer. Managed to go through that decently enough. Oh boy. Alright, this corner is very tricky. There's one way to go around it, that's good. I think that Jaguar is just a little bit quicker than we are still. Which is a shame. I am giving this car everything I can. I am pushing 100%. Which is why I've kind of gotten quiet just a little bit. Through some of the twisty sections. It's because I am trying to catch up. I'm kind of in a no man's land right now in third. No one's really challenged me for position, but I'm not close enough to challenge that Jaguar for position. Which is a shame because I am desperately trying to catch them. Oh man. That SLR is so far gone. Oh my word. Alright, the Jag's on the other side of the carousel, which is this tight hairpin here that's banked. It's the it's got the concrete section as well. It's a very interesting corner. It's probably one of the more well-known corners on the Nordschleife. Oh, running wide. Come on. Alright, now we go through the final section of the Nürburgring. Well, technically the third of... I can break the Nürburgring down into 4 sections. And this is the third section. Basically, this is... it starts right at the carousel and goes all the way onto the main, the back straight. You know, the really, really long straight. It goes to the beginning of there. And basically, this section is just nothing but undulating hills and lefts and rights and lefts and rights. And it is very, very difficult to kind of... it is very easy to get a corner mixed up with yet another one on this section because by this point you are, you know, most of the way through a lap, and you know your mind's racing at like 100 miles a minute, and you're just trying to keep everything straight now, keep the car from going off course, and it's over crest, left hand, lever crest, right hand, and it is just pure assault on your mind. And there are a couple of sections like here where your car gets airborne, and you basically need to brake right as your car gets airborne so you can get it slowed down just enough for this corner here. Back over the crest to the left, and all of these corners are blind or nearly blind, and so basically you need to know this track like the back of your hand, and I do not quite know it like the back of my hand, as you can see there. It is still just a little bit foreign to me, especially in a vehicle that I am not quite proficient in, because this Mercedes is quite a handful. Alright, easy. Alright, we want to carry as much speed through this section as we can, because a speed out of this corner dictates a speed on through the longest straight in the entire track. And the faster we can go through here, this is a great way to shave off time. Alright, good. Oh, wow, up to 170 miles an hour in a Mercedes. This is going to be terrifying under braking. Come on. Easy. Alright, I'm going to brake just a little bit early because the car... it's squirrely under high-speed braking. It does not like that. It loses quite a bit of stability. Managed to keep that under control, though. That's good. That is very, very good. Alright. On to our final lap. Yeah, this is, despite only being 3 laps, this is definitely a bit of an endurance race. Being close to a nearly 20 minutes. No, over 20 minutes. Nearly 30 minutes of just purely Nordschleife driving. And granted, I couldn't pick a better track for something like this because I do genuinely enjoy driving on this track. Even if it is terrifying. It's a fun kind of terrifying. It's exhilarating. It's very tricky and it keeps you sharp. And it's a track that it takes no prisoners. There is a reason this track was called the Green Hell. And that is because this track is very, very unforgiving. But it's so much fun, especially in a virtual environment where you're not at risk of destroying, you know, yourself or your car. In a virtual environment, it's very, very fun to drive on. To the point where most sim racers, it's the rallying cry of most sim racers whenever a new sim racing game is released. Oh, I better have the Nordschleife. Otherwise, we won't buy it. It's just a very, 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 very popular track. And while I do enjoy driving laps on it, I don't actually enjoy racing on it though, because it's very difficult, especially in anything faster than a GT4 car. And anything faster than a GT4 car, it is very difficult to pass. Because GT3 cars are very, very wide, and they're also very aero dependent. So it's very hard to follow behind each other if you're racing GT3s on the Nordschleife. And plus at that point, the bumps and everything get very, very sketchy and very dangerous. This is definitely not a, oh gosh. This is definitely not a track for aero-dependent cars because of all the bumps, very much upset how much downforce you have going through certain corners and stuff, and it could be, it's a truly terrifying experience. It doesn't look like we're going to be catching that Jaguar. We may have to settle for 3rd place. That's unfortunate, but we may just need to focus on trying to get as many points as we can. And regardless, even if we get 3rd, we'll still get plenty of points, which will allow us to improve our ranking even further. So that means we'll be able to continue to enter the RS races if we have decent odds. Oh boy, easy, easy. Gosh, get a turnabout, please. Oh. Oh gosh. Yeah, after this race, I need a quick run to the restroom as well. I do apologize. Ah. I'm starting to kind of feel it. Alright, easy through this corner. Easy through this corner. Alright, get on the throttle. We want to get as much speed out of the corner as we can because this is another high-speed section. Come on. About halfway done this lap. Yeah, that Jaguar definitely is pulled away from us. That's unfortunate. But hey, you know, we're racing against cars, like all the cars we're racing against, none of them we have. So with the roulette, there's a high chance that we may get a car, which is nice. because that'll allow me to kind of continue my playthrough of, you know, steadily increasing, you know, all these different cars to their maximum tuning level. And it gives me a chance to just drive all of the fun, quirky, and really weird cars in this game. That's the other thing I love about this game is it doesn't just have, you know, like the really, really fast, you know, the premium creme de la creme sports cars. It's got, you know, quirky compacts. It's got minivans. It's got a whole bunch of cars of all different classes. And I said this before in the previous stream, but this previous stream's audio was all busted. The Chevrolet Astro is also in this game as a drivable vehicle, which, if you're not familiar, is a it's a minivan, but it's basically a minivan that was built on a truck chassis. And yeah, that's in the game. So you get to race in a four-wheel drive minivan, and it's so much fun. I think it's the only time. This is the only game the Chevrolet Astro is both like officially licensed and drivable in game, which is really cool. Alright, we're almost through section 3 of 4 of our final lap, going through basically the undulating corners that are all blind, and it's terrifying. If you're familiar with Mission 34 or the license test S18, not S18, S18, yeah, S18, the final S license test from Gran Turismo 4. You know just how terrifying this section can be, because you could have, you know, a perfect lap going through, and this section could just mess you up. And oh, easy, easy, easy. Awesome. And I remember trying for hours at a time trying to get gold on both of those things in Gran Turismo 4, and it was so difficult, especially because I have the NTSC version because I'm from America, the United States. The PAL version actually was a bit easier for both of those because the time handicap, the time delay for when you start the race in Mission 34, it's 120 seconds in the NTSC version. It's only 90 seconds in the PAL version, which is the European and Australian version. So in that regards, you have considerably smaller deficit to make up. And then the final license test, as opposed to driving a touring car, you're driving a Group C prototype racing car around the track, which is much faster. Much faster. Alright, easy going around the corner. Alright, the Jaguar is finished. So they're about 15 seconds ahead of us. Alright, let's get this slowed down. Nice and easy, nice and easy, nice and easy. Alright, that didn't end up too bad. Vehicle still gets crossed up under high-speed braking now. Oh, and I crossed the line. That wasn't as good a lap, but that's fine. We did decently enough. We got third. But we're on the podium. Oh, my word. All right, let's see if we're able to get a car. Let us see if we're able to get a car. Hey. Awesome, awesome. We got the Jaguar that beat us. And again, 400 horsepower, 1800 kilograms. It is very similar to the Mercedes we are currently driving. Very gorgeous, very beautiful car though. The front end is probably hit or miss for some people, but I actually kind of like it. Oh, and despite all those off-course excursions, we are able to upgrade our vehicle, thankfully. Oh gosh, we have lost quite a bit of hit points. We are low on health. And the car is much lighter. All right, do pardon me for just a second. I do need to run to the restroom. Be back in just a second. Okay, I am back. Thank you for your patience. Sorry about that. when nature calls. Oh no, my ranking actually decreased by 1. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Alright, let's suggest a few more settings on the car. It is still not handling correct. I'm gonna lower the rear. That might help with stability. And I'm gonna dial this back just a bit. All right, there we go. That should help out a little bit with vehicle stability and the braking. Ooh, the Star Festival at Rev City. We have a decent chance to do well on this one. We do have a little bit of a chance to do well. Let's get a good launch. That TVR Tamara and that Skyline are both going to be a little bit difficult, but otherwise, I think we have a decent shot to actually even win this. And if we win this, we will be bringing home so many points, which is good because we need that. Back to the left. Alright. Dive bomb on the inside. If gap car. Oh, we somehow managed to survive going through that without any contacts. Nice. Now let's utilize the banking to our advantage. Gain just a little bit of time on the TVR. Because that car is terrifying. It is essentially a modern-day Shelby Cobra, lightweight British roadster with a very powerful engine in it. And it's terrifying both the race against and the drive. Because the car wants to kill you. It is a very homicidal car. And it is gonna catch me on the straight. Come on, you big ol' long wide boy. Give me just a little bit more speed. Help me block them as well. Gotta get it turned in just a little bit. Alright, just a tiny bit of an off-course excursion there, not too much. Oh, you are very close to me. I want you to be a bit further away from me. Preferably a bit further away behind me. Ooh, they got sideways. Yes. Okay, even the AI has a difficult time driving that car. That's good. Alright, over the jump. Onto the brakes. Try to get into the dash line here. Keep it steady. Alright, back onto the brakes. Nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. Whew. Through the bus stop chicane. Alright, back onto the home straight. Alright. Ooh, they got a better launch out of that corner than I did. But I do have more power on the uphill. That should... Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit further ahead of them than previously. Oh gosh. This is actually putting the pressure on me. I gotta do well. Especially after that, race at the Nordschleife, the previous race that was, shall we say, a race to forget. Where I definitely underperformed my vehicle. I'm gonna try to outperform it this time. Ooh, he didn't make a mistake there. He is very close to me. Okay, come on. Go into the corner, use the banking. Alright, carry speed. Alright, heavy trail braking into this left-hander. Gotta be careful on the exit. If I go wide, I'm gonna hit that wall and that's gonna slow me down quite a bit. Transfer the weight through the bus stop chicane. Alright, back through the double right-hander. Ooh, come on. I think I got a better run to this corner. I did. That's a perfect line through there. That's gonna help me on the uphill section there. I'm pulling away. Let's see how far back they are. Ooh, okay, they gained about half a second on me. They are getting close. This is a very close battle for first place. Ooh, the featherweight versus the heavyweight champion. Who is gonna win? Ooh. It's like a sumo wrestler versus someone who's proficient in MMA. Oh, they've got the launch out of that corner on me. I'm gonna have to take this. I'm gonna have to go around the outside. Contact through there. All right, I managed to maintain more momentum through that banked turn. That's good. Oh gosh. Oh, they've gotten past me. All right, I gotta get that position back. Yep. All right, they slowed down the bus stop. I'm able to carry just a little bit more speed through there. They have an advantage on me through the sweeper. They have got much stiffer, much better suspension. No, I had to let off of the gas just to keep myself out of the wall. Now they've gotten the advantage of me now. I've got to try to gain 2.5 seconds roughly. And third place is also catching up rather quickly. Come on. Let's try to maintain as much of our position as we can. Because that third place, we're being chased down by Godzilla. The R32 Skyline GTR that was infamous in Group A touring car racing. Again with the four-wheel drive advantage that was very, very prominent during the 80s and 90s through certain companies using that to kind of outwit their competition. Okay, come on. Keep it steady through the bus stop. Right, now into the double right-hander. I don't want to get greedy on the throttle. So if I get on the throttle too early, I'm going to go wide and I'm going to hit that red and white barrier. Alright, I've managed to get a good launch out of that corner. That should hold the GTR at bay a little bit. I do have about 100 extra horsepower on the GTR, but the GTR is considerably lighter than I do. Considerably lighter than I am, sorry. So this is... Ooh. Come on, try to maintain as much of a lead as I can, because it is going to be very, very difficult going into that last lap at the rate they are catching me. So far, we're just trying to stop the bleeding, stop falling backwards. The TBR is long gone. That is a very, very fast car with a very, very, very high power to weight ratio. It's both very powerful and very lightweight and very terrifying to drive. It's still within eyesight, but it's not quite close enough to be within striking distance unless the AI makes a mistake, which they have in the past. There's a chance I might be able to gain some ground on them, but not a huge chance. It is a very slim chance. I'm also better off trying to make sure I race as cleanly as possible, get turned in just a little bit more, please. All right, back on the throttle. There we go. On to the final lap. That GTR is still right on us. Provided I don't make any mistakes, though, through this section, or through any of the sections, I should be able to hold it at bay. Because it is roughly about a second behind us. It is gaining about a quarter of a second a lap, I'm estimating. I can't actually see the timing for the vehicle behind me. I'm only seeing the timing for the vehicle in front of me, and yeah, the TVR is long gone. But that's fine. We can get definitely... We're still in contention to get a second place finish. I can see the GTR coming up behind me, though, just barely in the rearview mirror. And oh boy, come on. Come on. Just a few corners left. A few corners. Nice and easy through here. Alright, through the bus stop one last time. Alright, let's get it turned in. Nice and steady, nice and smooth on the throttle. Slowly get back on the throttle as you hit the apex. Keep it straight, heading on the uphill. Get as much power down as you can, because even in a very high-powered car, that uphill does slow you down. And across the line. Oh, my word. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that was the S2000. Whoa. The GTR, what happened to the GTR? I was expecting the GTR to be the one right behind us. Okay. Now that was the S2000. Well played. That is also a very, very fast car. Very, very high revving inline 4-cylinder engine in that S2000. Very lightweight. Gorgeous car. Ooh. Yes. Yes. We got the Tamara. And as you can see, it's you know, almost 350 horsepower and only like, you know, just over 2,000 pounds. It is a very, very light car. And it is very fast. It is the staple of these TVR cars. Rest in peace, TVR. It's a shame the company went under, because they made some absolutely bonkers cars that I would love to drive. It would also be very terrifying to drive. Oh my gosh, they would genuinely be terrifying to drive. Alright, our vehicle's been upgraded. That's good. Whew. And there's our points. That is still quite a large number of points. And as you can see, the higher our ranking number goes, the more difficult it is to get higher in the rankings. So it just forces you to just push harder and harder as to the best of your ability. Oh. But yeah. All right. Our Mercedes is now at level 7. Steadily working to get this leveled up to level 10. Got a couple different options here. You have the Limestone Cup, but with that, rear-wheel drive isn't exactly great off-road. It is a little sketchy. The Super by Circuit Challenge should be probably a good one to do. Ooh, but we're gonna be racing against a whole bunch of lightweight Japanese sports cars as well. Going into this one would be pretty much a. You know what? Let's try it. Our vehicle's been tuned enough. Let's actually try it. Let's go for it. Worst case scenario, we finish 4th. We get the minimum number of points. We still get points. But that RX-7 is going to be very, very quick, as is that Impreza STI. That the four-wheel drive. Oh, and the Evo as well. Yeah, okay, that is going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to have to get into the lead as early as possible. But those four-wheel drive cars, there's 3 different four-wheel drive cars that are going to be very, very quick around here. That are going to be the main difficult opponents. Oh, and one of the other cool things about this game, if you listen closely, I want to talk just a little bit quieter, is as your vehicle gets upgraded, The engine note, it changes. If it has a turbo system installed from the factory, you can hear the blow-off valve get more and more aggressive. You can hear the exhaust note get more aggressive. It is a cool little feature to add as well. And the car itself definitely feels much better now that it's been upgraded a decent amount. Still doesn't want to turn though. Not around the tight hairpins. Alright, we're down in the third. Let us try to gain these positions back. Or at the very least, let's stop ourselves from losing any more positions. Alright, there we go. Good exit out of that turn. Oh, we're slowly gaining on that RX-7. Oh, he's gonna have a bad line going into that corner. Oh, they're fighting it out. Yeah, if they battle each other, that may be beneficial to me, because that means they'll both be slowing each other down as they try to pass and defend against each other. So that will allow me to either keep with them or even get ahead of them. This corner though, it is so tight. The car does not want to turn around there at all. That corner is my kryptonite, at least in this car. Because otherwise, throughout the rest of the lap, I am gaining on them, but I lose so much time through that corner. Come on. Alright, let's try to gain just a little bit more on them on the straights, onto the brakes. This is a very, very late apex corner. And even then, it still doesn't want to turn. And yes, we are indeed racing Tsukuba Circuit backwards. Technically, that's not necessarily possible in real life due to the fact that the track only has FIA homologation going forwards. To my knowledge, the only track in the real world that allows you to race it both forwards and backwards is Knockgill in Scotland. That is the only track, to my knowledge, that allows you to race it in real life both forwards and backwards. And they do race it both forwards and backwards there, and it's quite cool. It's a very small track though, up there and out there. I'd like to visit that track as well. There's a lot of tracks I love to visit in the real world and catch races at. Oh, come on. Get me around the corner, please. Yeah, no, there's definitely a large number of tracks I would love to visit and watch races at and everything. Everything from, Indianapolis Motor Speedway to Suzuka especially. It's just such a cool track. It's one of the few tracks in the world that loops over itself or crosses over itself, and it's such a cool track. Tsukuba is also an enjoyable track to drive too, more so if you have a car that can actually handle hairpin turns, as this car most certainly cannot. Come on. I'm getting just a little bit too greedy with the throttle here, trying to take just a little bit too much speed into these corners. I need to stop doing that. Alright, move over to the right, get onto the brakes just before the weight barriers. Okay. The car turn about. Yeah, I lose so much time through the hairpins. On the bright side though, I am keeping a steady third, which is good. On the downside, I'm not exactly battling for position right now. which is unfortunate because that is when racing is always at its best, is when you're in a tight fight to either gain or to keep your position. But yeah, no, I am not quite able to keep pace with the RX-7 or the Evo. I am a ways ahead of the rest of the pack though, which is nice. Oh, come on, get me turned in. Tried to carry just a little too much speed to that corner. Completely missed the apex, that's okay. Alright, come on. Get it back to the left, under the Dunlop Bridge, into this dreadfully tight hairpin. One more time. Oh gosh. Come on, turn her out, please. The car is just too long, I think. Oh, come on. It's like a bull in a china shop. Very, very powerful. Can't handle itself at all. Still, third. It's decent enough. I was expecting coming in fourth and being absolutely obliterated by all the four-wheel drive cars, but we managed to actually do a decent job. Punched above our weight class. Metaphorically speaking, our car is the heaviest on the grid. Alright, we got an Evo 3. Nice. 270 horsepower. The third evolution of the Mitsubishi Lancer with the infamous 4G 63 motor in it. That vehicle's been upgraded again. That's nice. And there it is. Vehicle is finally as light as it can be. Granted, it's still very, very heavy. Okay, good. Our ranking's been maintained at least. That's not bad. Let's enter another race. Ooh. The Arc of Triumph Anniversary. Competition's gonna be fierce. Get the German car limit race. Ooh. Do the might be a fairly even matchup. I'm gonna do a race on low end steering actually. Yeah, especially because with this, there's so many vehicles we haven't gotten. This is kind of a week that won't really count towards or against our ranking because the current the race this is going to be replacing also isn't counting for against our ranking. It's been grayed out since our ranking points are only calculated from the best 9 out of the past 12 weeks. So since the race that we are replacing doesn't count, this one cannot count, and it won't necessarily affect our ranking at all, which is good. It allows me to potentially get another cool car to drive at a later date, or crash into a wall. Understeered just a little bit on corner exit as the banking was gradually reducing. Okay, back to the hairpins. The car feels so much better to drive once you begin to upgrade it as well. It has so much more grip. It's able to corner a little bit better. It still doesn't like the very, very tight corners just due to the sheer length of its wheelbase. But it is a lot more stable under braking. which is nice. It's got quite a bit of power, even more so than it already did. Alright, let's get it around the hairpin. Almost there. There we go. Yeah, it still struggles around hairpin turns. And without completely ruining how the car handles in the high-speed sections, I don't think there's really a way I can compensate for that. I know if I give myself more toe out, it will allow me to do better on the hairpins. But then I will lose so much stability on the wider sweeper corners, as well as under braking, especially if I'm trying to trail brake, which a lot of corners in this game do require some level of trail braking. And if you're not familiar with trail braking is basically when you're going into a corner, so you do brake heavily like this, and you gradually let off the brakes as you begin to turn in. And that allows you to brake later and also helps you turn in more, because more of the weight of the vehicle is being put on the front wheels, which gives them more traction, which allows them to kind of pull your vehicle into the turn more. And it's if you get it right, it's a very important key to improving your lap time. If you get it wrong though, it becomes just a little bit dangerous, because that means you have overshot your braking point. So it is a more intermediate to rather difficult move. Alright, our first lap has been completed. On to the final lap. Under the gantries. Down the front straight. Into the banked corner. I love this corner. This corner is so much fun, because you're able to just carry so much speed. But you gotta be careful, because the corner continues, but the banking drops out on you on exit. So if you're not careful, you will be spit out wide. And it definitely tests the knowledge of the course. Konami actually did a fairly good job with this course, designing it and making it both memorable and, original as well. And it looks, for a PS2 game, it looks quite nice. Alright, under the tunnel, or through the tunnel. Under the Dunlop Bridge. Steady trail braking as we go into the S-curves here. Get it turned in. Back on the throttle as we approach the hairpin. The very, very tight. I'm going to call this the front foot hairpin, because if you look at the map kind of looks like a lion almost. You can see that the most of the pack right now is on his mane, with the hairpins right after each other. I'm kind of on the stomach of the lion now, heading up the back of his front leg, entering his stomach now. And I'm gradually working towards his rear legs. Onto the back foot. The back foot sweeper. And then, yeah, this part of where we be on a lion, I'm gonna call it starfish. And then onto the tail. And the tail is basically, it starts tight, and then it gets wider, so you can start to gain more and more speed. But it's deceptive. It's very deceptive, because then it starts to get tight again right when you start seeing the red and white curbing here. And it starts to go uphill as well. So if you're not careful, you can run out very wide. I ran out just a little wide there. And then onto the lion's back through basically what I'm going to call the reverse rouge. Because it basically looks like that corner from the Spa circuit, but like mirrored. And then across the line. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, hopefully we're able to get a good car for that, because there was plenty of really, really cool cars we raced against. Everything from a Corvette to the Roofs, which is basically the substitute for Porsche. to that crazy... Oh. Alright, well, we didn't get any car. That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. That's fine. We got enough points to be able to level up our vehicle. That's good. Very, very good. And we got some fresh grippy boys on our car. And our ranking has actually increased a little bit. That's good. If ever so slightly. Alright. I apologize. Steam has decided to update in the middle of the stream. Oh gosh. I'm sorry about that. Alright, but now we have quite a few different events we could do. I haven't raced an Alta Mountain in a while. I want to do that. Alta Mountain is one of my favorite courses because it's a pure momentum course. And every corner kind of flows into each other, and it's so much fun to drive. And it's one of, in my opinion, the prettiest, one of the prettiest courses in the game as well, with all the fall leaves and everything. I very much like the fall season because it's just very gorgeous. I love all the colored leaves and all that fun stuff. There's a state park close to it, fairly close, like a 30-minute drive away from where I live, and it's so much fun to drive through there in the fall because all of the leaves are absolutely, you know, very gorgeous. And there's a couple of like rock formations there that if you climb up, you can kind of overlook. And by rock formations, I mean like very, very large, almost like cliffs. Or if you climb up, you can see for miles and miles all the different colored trees, and it's like it's a beautiful gradient if you go at the right time of year. And oh, it is so nice. But even if you don't go to the rocks itself, the drive through there is so much fun. It's a lot of great driving roads through there. To the point where you will usually, if you go on a nice weekend day, even during, you know, like not the fall, but like, you know, during the spring and summer as well, where the trees are mostly the same color, you will still see a lot of like, you know, sporty vehicles and classic cars driving through there, just because it is a well-known driving road through the state park, and it is very, very nice. Going through this corner, and it's a very, very late apex corner. You kind of treat it as one corner going through there, as opposed to two. If you try to treat it as two corners, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna get thrown out wide on the second corner. Who needs to use all of the road there? Alright, back through the tunnel section. It does narrow through here, so I gotta be careful. Alright, we do have a little bit of banking on this corner, but it is also uphill, so I need to watch for understeer, especially on exit, through all the fall leaves, the bright reds. Alright, into the S-curves. Ooh, ran out just a little bit wide. Just a little tap onto the wall. Onto the front straight. Pretty much the only time you can go full throttle for a half decent amount of time. And cross the line. Alright, onto the brakes. Come on. Get me turned in just a little bit, please. Oh, and yeah, this car feels so much nicer to drive now that's been upgraded. Very, very nice. Back onto the brakes, get the weight transferred so I can get it turned in for that left-hander. track. It's so pretty, and it's so much fun to race one too. Konami did a really good job developing. Like, there isn't a whole wide variety of tracks in this game, but most of them are very nice. And it's a very enjoyable to drive one. And they had the right balance between being difficult, but being memorable and fun. With the exception of Speedyapolis Ring. I don't quite like racing on that track just because, well, I mean, on one hand, I love Indianapolis Motor Speedway, but if you're developing a game that with the intention of, you know, allowing slower cars to compete against faster cars, you want tracks that are, you know, fairly high skill, but also, you know, lots of corners of various speeds. Speedyapolis Ring is just 4 left turns, and unfortunately, it's basically you can't really punch above your weight class on that track. So that is one track that you don't really see me racing on that much for a multitude of reasons. One of those being that reason, and the other reasons being just, like I said, it is difficult to be competitive unless you have one of the fastest cars in the race there, because otherwise you will be blown out of the water, and there's not much you can do about that. There's no trick, there's no, you know, really overtaking ability. It's just E faster in a straight line, which is unfortunate. If they were to incorporate XB, a copy, writing around a trademarks version of Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I'd much prefer them have the road course, because at the time the road course still exists. It's different now, but when this game was created back in 2005, the road course did exist. That's where they raced the U.S. Grand Prix for Formula One. Since, you know, at the time, that is where the U.S. Grand Prix was held, as opposed to it being at Circuit of the Americas or Miami or Las Vegas, the 3 places where it is to be held in 2023. No, it was back in the early 2000s. It was held at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course there, and well, granted, ironically, during the time this game was made, there was a bit of there was an interesting U.S. Grand Prix, shall we say. The race itself wasn't interesting, but the controversy surrounding the race was, as essentially one of the tire suppliers, their tires couldn't handle the banked corners on Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The banked with the diamond cut paving of the track, and you had multiple blowouts from wasn't Bridgestone. What was the other supplier? Michelin, I think it was. Yeah, Michelin. Michelin was having a lot of tire issues. And as such, you only had 6 cars. Basically, only 3 teams competed. Everyone else pulled into the pits on the formation lap, and well, that definitely set back Formula One racing in the United States for quite a while. But our vehicle now is fully tuned. That's nice. That is very nice. Our ranking has increased ever so slightly more. That's good. Alright, let's do another race with our Mercedes. Let's do a race on Pacific Gateway. Oh, a huge selection of cars we can win. That's good. got a good launch. Oh, very, very good launch out of the start. Into the rear of the Miata. I gotta be careful going through here. It's gonna be an interesting time going through that chicane with so many cars going side by side. Best to bide my time and wait until I can get out of that and use my power to pass the Ditomaso, the Pantera on the straight. There we go, into the lead. Very, very nice. Alright, through the twisty bits. Oh, and the car handles so much better than since before we went through the twisty bits back earlier in the stream. Oh, so much nicer. So much more power out of the turns as well. This is a dream to drive now. I almost feel bad about switching to a different car. Alright, through the chicane. Into the right-hand sweeper. Gotta be careful because it's gonna go uphill and that's gonna cause me to understeer a decent amount at the exit of that corner. Alright, onto the brakes. I gotta be careful because if I jump and I don't brake early enough, it will be very, very not fun for me. Alright, now the downhill section. Whole bunch of jumps here. You want to make sure you go as straight as you possibly can on the downhill section, because if you go sideways over those jumps, you will be in for a world of hurt. You can cut over the inside curbing there just a little bit, and that'll help going into the next corner. You can carry just a little bit more speed through. You got to be careful with this corner complex because you're braking and cornering at the same time, trying to get it slowed up for the chicane. Try to take the chicane in as straight line as possible so you can get onto the throttle early and go into the back straight. Brake almost as soon as you get to the downhill. Into this blind corner here. Alright, now into the twisty bits. Alright, this is a fairly late apex corner. And basically I want to aim right for here. Get it turned in. Back to the left, and then an early apex corner here is go wide and then cut back so you can get a good line into the hairpin. I took this just a little bit too slow and I apex just a little too early. Alright, back into the sweeper. And again, it is a fairly late apex corner. So you want to try to get as straight a line as possible to set you up for the chicane here. Alright, the sweeper is going to be, you don't want to hit the wall on the outside there. You're going to be a little bit careful through the sweeper that you don't understeer. You're going to brake early through this corner because it's basically after a jump. And if you go airborne, you'll be in a world of hurt. Through the bus stop chicane. Again, you want to try to maximize your exit speed because now you're onto one of the fastest straights on the course. Through the jumps. If you can, use the jumps, like use the time you're airborne. Oh gosh. If you can, use the time you are airborne to shift. That way you don't lose as much power on the straights. Alright, on to the final lap now. And we are ways out of the competition. This is nice. Alright, over the crest. Alright, so far so good. A little bit of an off-course excursion there. Alright, into the hairpin. Very, very late apex. Gotta be careful. Get a turnabout. Basically a first gear corner in this car. Alright, back on the uphill. Again, braking early, probably roughly around the 100-meter section. Maybe just after the 100 meters, because you don't want to go airborne. On a bus stop chicane, back downhill. Oh, major error through there. Alright, cut that corner just a little too much. That's alright. All the way to the outside as we go across the line. That's a fairly fast lap, actually. That's nice. Alright. Yes. Alright, let us select our next car. Well, first, let's see if we win anything. Ooh. Nice. Oh, we got the ASL, the Autoback sports car. Super cool. There we go. We've leveled up ourselves. A little bit more points. And we will suffer a ranking decrease there, just a little bit. Ooh, we're gonna really have to... We're gonna have a major ranking jump, actually, if we try to get a different car now. YOLO. Let's get a different car. Alright. So previously, we were driving, premium sedan. Let's go for a multi-purpose car, which is like your sedan, your SUVs and your minivans. And we have two options in the multi-purpose category. We have the Toyota Estima, and we have the Chevrolet Astro. We're gonna be racing vans. Oh, all right. I'm gonna race the Estima Hybrid, and we've got it in rose metallic opal, white pearl crystal shine, silver metallic, and blue metallic. We are really setting the world on fire with these color selection. Oh no. Let's do it with the rose metallic opal, and because it is a hybrid car, oh yeah, we dropped like a rock in the rankings. Okay, that is perfectly fine. We have a minivan. We're leaving the racing life behind. We are becoming a minivan guy. Family man. All right, let's lower this a lot. Let's lower this. Stiffen it up. This vehicle is way too high off the ground. We are stiffening this up. Alright. Set it closer towards acceleration. And let's give me just a little bit of a locking diff. Granted, it won't affect too much. And I want to focus more on maneuverability because this vehicle doesn't really have a whole lot of power. And it's very heavy. Ooh, and as you can see, the odds very definitely changed against our favor. That is fine. Let us enter the Toyota Cup, where we will try to not die. Because that car that's starting in 6th, it is basically a Supra in a different shell. It's got the same 2JZ engine, just a little bit plush, just a little bit more plush, just a little bit heavier, but it is otherwise a Supra in a different body, in different clothing. And oh boy, oh gosh, get it turnabout, get it turnabout. That's fine. Oh gosh, this car. Come on, you beautiful minivan. Let's give me back that position. Oh, I have 1 gear as well, so I can't even. I've got the dreaded CVT, the continuously variable transmission. So I have zero control over my shifts. I've essentially got the transmission of like a snowmobile in this car. No shifting. I have zero options for that. It is just... Oh, it's so heavy. The brakes don't want to work. The cornering doesn't want to work. The tires don't want to work. Oh, but come on. Come on, minivan. It's so silly. It is so silly seeing this car on a racetrack. Oh, there goes the there goes the Nada Supra. Can I get the cutback on him? No, because they're able to out-accelerate me on that corner, and they're able to turn much better. Oh, I can at least hold second, probably. Oh gosh. I might be able to... At this rate, the only thing I might be able to hold is the wall. Come on. Nope. Still too fast through there. Still not enough corner. Oh, I can't believe I'm missing the chunky boy, the chunky Mercedes. Nope, going wide over there. Alright, onto the brakes. Come on, get it turned in. Nope. It is still not slow enough. I need to basically stop the car and try to turn it around. Oh, this is hilarious. This is what I'm gonna be stuck through until I get this to level 10. Oh, jeez. That's fine. Oh. Oh, it sounds so pitiful as well, this car. Yeah. Oh. How am I still in second in the minivan of all things? The rest of the drivers must be taking pity on me. Oh, come on. Get it turned in. I have to slow down to 12 miles an hour to get it turned around on that corner. Ah. That is a real pain moment. Nope, another bump on the wall. There's a bump on the wall and a hole on the side of my car. There's a bump on the wall and a hole on the side of my car. There's a bump. There's a bump. There's a bump on the wall and a hole on the side of my car. There's a dent. There's a dent. There's a dent on the bump on the wall and a hole on the side of my car. There's a dent on a bump on the wall and a hole on the side of my car. There's a dent. There's a dent. There's a dent on a bump on the wall on the side of my car. Oh, turn in. Turn in. Bump. Oh, this is painful. I am in physical pain right now. I have lost second. Bump. Onto the brakes. Get it turned in, please. Oh. Okay. Alright, I should probably increase the rake of this vehicle. That may get me a bit more turn in. Which is basically, if you increase the rake, it means you're either raising the rear or you're lowering the front. And that causes the car to kind of oversteer, you know, as you're entering the corner. Oh gosh, turn in. There we go. Come to a complete stop just to make the turn. Wow. Oh man, the leader is just across the line. And I am still struggling to get around this track. Alright, please no bump. Alright, around the final corner. Come on. Come on, van. Almost there. Ah, there we go. Ah, that was painful. Hopefully I leveled it up. That way I'm one level closer to getting a different car. With as many times as I bumped the wall, I don't think that's the case. Alright, what do I get? Do I get anything at all? No, I do not. Alright, game, that's fine. Don't get any points to level up my car either. The rankings increased ever so slightly. Yeah, going from a faster car to a much slower car is very, very difficult. Because the game takes a little bit to really kind of adjust to the level of performance the new vehicle has. So yeah, with this it's jeez. It's 18.9. Yeah, that's so you're saying there's a chance? Oh, there is no chance I'm gonna be able to win pretty much any of these events. Maybe this one? I'll be able to out-accelerate it, but through the tight corners. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. Why not? We may have a chance against the Europa. The Europa does have an advantage into the corners and through the corners, but I have an advantage in acceleration. Come on, CVT. Alright, the game's gonna make a liar of me. I said I had an advantage on acceleration. That is not the case. But I am in the lead. If I can keep a defensive line through the mountain pass, I should be fine. Car is definitely handling a little bit better now that I increased the rake and stiffened up the rear suspension. Getting a little bit more turn in, which is good, especially on a mountain pass course like this, where it's very tight, very twisty, very technical. Bump on the wall there, that's unfortunate. Let's try to keep this race much cleaner than the previous one. It's a very interesting matchup. You have, at the time, modern concept minivan that's, with the brand new technology of hybridization against a very, very old British sports car. Oh gosh, please turn. Turn! Turn, you giant, beautiful van. It's not turning. Oh gosh, turn. Alright, we lost our position there. Let's try to gain that back through the wider corners. Come on. I do have more power than the Europa, but that's not really a consolation when it is probably about a third of this van's weight. I'm able to carry more speed to that corner though. And I think I'm able to go later on the brakes there at the expense of being compromised on corner exit. Alright, the uphill section, this should benefit me. Like the steeper uphill section, this entire course is uphill. It is a point-to-point mountain pass course. But here we go, back into the very, very tight, very technical hairpins that this car does not like. Not one bit. Okay, back to the left. That one went surprisingly well. Alright, these two back to back. This one is going to be quite difficult. Come on. Managed to get through that cleanly. Okay. Oh gosh, it is painful with this car. It has been. Can you imagine how bad it would be without the settings adjustments though in this? Oh my word. It would be dreadful. Right into the hairpin left. We're almost to the top. Come on. Get a little bit more turning. So far, so good. We're managing to keep our lead despite losing it earlier, which is good. And there's the finish line, a glorious sight, which is good because trying to get this vehicle upgraded so I can actually be semi-competitive. Okay. Nice. We do have a chance to win that Europa as well, which is good. Alright, and with this, I am probably going to, after I get the car and get the points and everything, I'm probably going to call it a night. It is fairly late. Didn't get the car. Alright, that's fine. Didn't get the upgrade either. Oh, this is going to be a little bit of a slog, but that's alright. We have our minivan. Ooh. It did get quite a lot of points though. That's good. Alright, with that though, I am probably going to call it a night. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, either watching it live or watching the replay, do be sure to leave it a like. Or if you didn't like it, do please leave a comment. Or if you did like it, leave a comment. Tell me what I did well, what I didn't do well. I'm still a little new to this streaming stuff, so I'm doing my best, but I can't improve if I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So do let me know. But regardless, thank you so much for watching. I've been Isaac Umbras. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time of day it is, morning, evening, night, noon, afternoon, may it be a great time. And I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye.